subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look now at the Russell. As of yesterday's high, we had the big break of 100 and some points. We rallied up to the exact 382 early this morning, then we broke down, rallied again to exact 382, and we're very close to taking us out. One thing to remember, this took 1, 2, 3 hours, and we're now 1, 2, 3, 4 hours. If we get below here and this starts, this is not going to be good. I'll give my opinion of what I think is going to happen tomorrow, but that doesn't mean very much, does it? Let's get the Russell out of here. Next one we want to take a look at that was very, very important was the Dow Jones, and it also, as you can see, it made a perfect 382 retracement off of the high of yesterday. It's now down 400 handles from that level. We also did the same thing in the NASDAQ, and we did the same thing in the S&P. Let's get this out of the way here for just a second, and then we'll take a look at each one of these separately here. There's one that's more important than all of these, and if you'll wait just 1 second, I'll try it, show it to you here. Now, here's the E-mini S&P, and, well, I have to do this on a longer time frame, because this is just the early morning part of the day. There was your 382 off of the high right back here, just absolutely spot on in absolute ABCD format. And should we get below here, that would not be a very good sign. And there's a possibility of that. And I think I've also did the NASDAQ. Let's just get that up. I think we did the same thing with the NASDAQ. There's the NASDAQ, made the exact 382. We're trying to hold this together, folks. They really are. They're doing their very best. But here is the potential problem right here. Now, here's my opinion, of course. Now, this is the cash S&P. Okay, now we know that the S&P futures made that 382 right here. But look at the cash. There's your high that you made yesterday, okay? You see how it missed it? I know it doesn't sound like a lot, folks, but that's a lot. And now you've come down, you've had lower tops in here. So if you start getting below this late in the day, much like we did here, see that damage was done here in just a couple hours. Well, the people that were long during that time still have a rough time. I have to remind my friend, Mr. Jameson, that I'm doing the radio show. I'm going to tell him right now. Hold on. Sorry, folks. He's my best friend here in the old commuter thing. Anyway, that's what we're watching here. Now, there's another one that's been very bearish. I pointed it out to you in the bond market just a little while ago, and I want to bring this up to you to show you today where you can see what's going on with the bonds now. Let's get this down here just a little bit so we can see it. The bonds, okay, he wants to use that image, and I'm going to use it. So let's get on right here. There's the bonds heading down today. Now, remember, when we were up at 116 and change, that's where the 382 was, and now you're 3 handles low. Now, here's the possibility, see, because we've got several hours to go, and it's fitting perfectly. I covered my short here a little too soon, but that's okay. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. This is where we chance maybe the bonds and stocks will all rally, holding it up, because it's really, really important if that S&P cash makes new lows, because that means that 382 rally was underscored, and that makes it pretty difficult to do that. All right, now let's get this out of the way here so we can move over and see what Mr. Jameson has for us. So let's come over here, and I'll come up here into the Skype and see what he's got for me. And there's what it is. Yeah, there's another reason why we're looking at this. There was the mean today's standard deviation right here, and the E-mini was exactly 1 standard deviation from a high we made back here, which is the 382. That's why it's so important. So going below there, see, this was an outlier event, folks. This is stuff that, that's in the Floor Trader's Handbook and how you try to handle it, but that's neither here nor there. All right, let's get out of the mode here. and get up and take a look at some other charts that we're looking at. I've posted out the one on the crude oil. I happened to miss that one because I had so many other things that I was looking at, and it made it a little difficult. So let's get these out of the way here and start talking about the market that we've been watching for quite a while, which has been this gold market. As you can see, we're down to 26.10 now. We broke below that a little bit earlier. We got down to 2,600 even, and this is what we've been watching here in the gold. You see it now has a possibility of rallying here the last part. Remember, the last part of this day is the least reliable, that's for sure. So let's just look at this on a smaller time frame, and you'll see what we were trying to do last night. Of course, if you remember, we were trying to sell the 250 up here. We missed it. It went to 240. That was the 382 off of that big range way back here when we hit 2,700. I think we have to look at that on the hourly in order to spot it. But yeah, there it is back here. It missed that by just a little bit, and then it started to come down a little bit. Still looks quite bearish. You know, we're still it's actually up on the day a couple of points because the low yesterday was down there at 25.96, and we almost made that ABCD up in here, but it did not. So you just basically have to look on and find something else as you're paying attention to these here so closely. All right, now let's get back and talk about the currencies, because boy, they did some damage to us yesterday on one of the trades that I really liked. Fortunately, we had a stop in and it took us out in a matter of clickety-click. Let's get this weekly up here because this had everything I liked in a trade except one thing. It darn thing didn't work. Let's get this up here on the daily here. There's where we were trying to short it right here at 243.40, and it went through that 50 point like it didn't even exist. It went all the way up to 144.80, and we're still, going up. So no reason at all to look at this from the short side. As you look at this intraday, it's bounced around a little bit with some nice patterns. And now, as you can see, what are we doing? We're making a 382 intraday from this high right here that we made. We had the break, came down quite a bit, and then stopped in right there, and there it is right on the money, 382 right there. So that is the low risk trade in the Canadian dollar if you wanted to do that, selling it and then putting your stop above here. That's the best way. You had a little ABCD here pattern in the middle of the night, but frankly, I was watching the stock indices move up and down. I had no interest in that after I'd gotten stopped out of it, and that's pretty much what we're paying attention to. You'll notice here that the euro has broken below that 103 level. That was a very key level. It's been going down all day. As you can see, virtually no rally. And if we look at this here on the hourly chart, you can see that haven't quite made new lows. Now, the interesting one, missed this one today too, son of a gun. Hold on one second. This is the 19th, and it was in the middle of the night. That's probably why I missed it. Let's clean this up because it helps everybody and also helps me remind me that I miss a lot of things and nothing else you can do. There's your 382 last night, went right up to 104.20. That's got $600 in it right now, and it looks like it's going to be heading lower. And if we look at this on the daily, we're really close to hello, goodbye down here. If we take that low out, we're looking at some serious stuff. And we'll look at that on the weekly when we get back. Stay tuned.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, so we're going to take a look at Tesla here today. I'll be back with Euro and the dollar index, but I need to get this on because one of our listeners is leaving the office and he wanted to see it before he left, and I promised Doc I would. So this is what we were watching. This was yesterday in Tesla. We were pointing out there was an ABCD pattern right about there. I'll draw it the right way if I can get that thing to match up. It's so sensitive. It measured to 488 roughly. But today, what was interesting, you see, after the market broke, see the rally back this morning. There's early morning right here when the market opened, and you'll notice that all we did was went just a tad above the 382. 50, it hits almost the exact 786, and now we're coming down. And then later here in the day now, we've had a nice little rally here. But again, this could mean that Tesla is lightening up a little bit. You know, maybe they're only going to sell 10 million cars today instead of 13. Anyway, that's what we're looking. Let's get back to the euro. Sorry for interrupting, Doc. I hope you enjoyed that. We love you, and hang in there and drive safely. Okay, here's what we are here in the euro. We're very, very close to taking this out, folks. The problem is that we're taking it out after a 382 retracement. That is extremely bearish. Now, if you remember, we said that the Federal Reserve was going to have a big influence on the U.S. dollar, and it looked like it was going to be positive. So the reverse of this is the U.S. dollar. So we're going to come over here, bring the U.S. dollar up, and show you how that thing exploded. This is why the Canadian dollar trade did not work, is because the darn thing was so bullish. And let's get the daily chart up here on the dollar index, and you'll be up. There we go. You can see what happened yesterday. That was the big move. And boy, folks, anybody that thinks that's bearish, please write to me. I'd like to see how you see that, because this tells us, well, let's look at the long-term weekly now, because, and just a lot. Well, there we are. We're almost at the 786. This thing's been in my, well, you can see it's been in there since 3 years ago when we made the big 3 drive to a top pattern. There was the big low we made in October, and now we're just ready to take this out. And boy, there's not much to hold it above here. This is about your last world. Wow, look how close we are, folks. We are, well, just like with the euro. That's going to be real interesting. That's very close. We got to put this beeper in here to let us know when we get there, because it better go screaming through there. Otherwise, this could be a big reversals pattern. if we get up to that level, because this is power taking out that level without any trouble on the weekly basis. There should be some resistance here, about another 60 pips higher, just like there should be some support in the euro, about 60 pips lower. And if not, look out. Okay, so that's one you want to pay attention to. But on the good part of the day, let's just get this out of the way here. Talk about something good that's happening. Well, everything's good's happening. What are we talking about? We'll go to Cascade here so I can see the one. And yesterday we were recommending buying March soybean meal. Now, all I have to do is find that darn stuff. And there it is right there in front. Holy moly guacamole. We were buying this at $188. Risking $5. It went against us $3, and now it's up $3.50 in our favor. So now you put your stop right in here. So you're only going to risk about $100 and let that puppy ride. That's all you can do, because sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. My old grandma used to say, life is like the chick whip. Nope. Larry says, we're not going to talk about what Grandma said today, are we? No. Let's move on and take a look at one that's been really working well for us, and that is the live cattle market. We sold some February cattle a few days ago, and this is one of those that you don't get to see work this quickly, that fast. And as you can see here, this is down now 6 handles from the high, folks, and it's really looking like, oops, let's try that again, Larry, 7 handles from the high, and it's got a really good chance to do something like this. This is what if you use the old commodity trader's prayer, look for something like this, not for something like this. And it started the right way, just like this one did, and just like this one did. It's starting the right way, so that means we got a good chance. What we're waiting for now is to see if we get a little counter trend move here, and that's what we'd like to see for 2 reasons. One, it would give us a chance to add to the position. Let's get down here. And the second thing, but look at this. There's no 382s here anywhere to be found. But, there will be one coming in here pretty soon, and we want to be ready for it. So that's what trade preparation is all about. There's that big number on the daily, and you can see it's had that pretty big break to the downside. So they don't always work, but when they do, it certainly does help. Okay, now we have a question out there about the dollar yen, and I want to bring this up here because I do have a position here in the dollar yen right now. I'll get this up here and show you to where it is. We sold it at 157.70. It's there's where we were selling it right here. This was a very good fit this morning. This was when the news came out. It made a low. Never got a chance to buy that at all, but we're going to look at it from the long side here. But then, it had a heck of a run here, but the problem is I never had a chance to buy it all the way up, so I had to try to sell it, and so far it's working, but quietly. Now, we'll go look at a 13-minute and see if that low that we made there on this one right here was really important, because you can see here, this thing has been, you're asking yourself, why the hell are you selling that? Well, looks like there's a pattern there, I guess that's why. Anyway, you can see the 382s all the way through here, folks. I mean, and I'll bet you a nickel to a penny, that's 5-to-1 odds, from that low to that high came in exactly at the old 382 within 2 pips, and look what it's done. Boy, that's not too bad. Look at this one right here. Those 382s, got to pay close attention, folks, very close attention, because they're really good. Now, looking at this on the longer term daily, you'll see that it's banging right up against the old 786 up in here. That's why I was saying I got to take a look at it there, just because of the 786. I know it's a lot of power in here, but at that level, I can certainly control my risk. I sell at 157.70, and I only have to risk, 40 pips. Right now, it's got 10 pips in my favor, but that's all I'm doing. And when I'm doing that is watching that of course, if it gets above here, I'm going to be out. My stop is right there. So if it gets to that level, I'm going to lose $300, and I'll head off to the old trader's nursing home and start licking my wounds. But right now, it's moving at least in the right direction from this level right here. We have a question about Mr. Appel, who's down by the well. That's an old joke about that, and I'll save that for another day. And there we are. Apple, I wonder if it's above 260 yet. Boy, it came close. Well, it was down, and now it's up on the day. That's a good thing. Look at that. See, it was down on the day. Now we've come back up. We've got to 255. The only ABCD pattern we had was this one right back here Oh, there's one other one. I just saw that. Hold on. Remember, folks, I don't do stocks. I look at them, but it's like watching molasses. There's your ABCD. That says we could get all the way up here to 262 without any trouble in Apple. This was lower, and now it's come back. Let's just see where it is today. Today's action. Yeah, see, it broke pretty good after the high was in, and then this morning you see it broke down, and what we've done so far is just rally back up, to the 61% retracement, and we're going to see if that's going to be holding. We've got I think a commercial coming up here, don't we, boys and girls? We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
The Tiger Dollar Holiday Double Bonus Sale 2024 is here.
Amazing money.
Now through December 23rd, we've doubled the bonuses. Don't miss your opportunity to get a double bonus up to 40% on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Here's how it works. Purchase 500 Tiger Dollars and receive 100 bonus Tiger Dollars. That's a 20% bonus, $600 total. Purchase 1,000 Tiger Dollars and receive 300 bonus Tiger Dollars. A 30% bonus, $1,300 total. Purchase 1,500 Tiger Dollars and receive 600 bonus Tiger Dollars. That's a 40% bonus, 2,100 total.
Oh, wow!
But you have to hurry because this holiday Tiger Dollar double bonus sale ends on December 23rd. Visit the front page of TFNN for details and get your Tiger Dollars today.
Ho, ho, ho! TFNN.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, forgot about the trade of the day. This is a can't miss. Tiger Dollars, folks. 4 more days. Ends on the 23rd of December. But don't forget, we've got winter starting on the 22nd. And Tiger Dollars, 30 to 50% off. That's a no-brainer, folks. You can't miss that trade. Here's one that we were looking at yesterday. We knew the Fed was there. We had some big patterns here in the Australian dollar and in the Canadian. Well, I took the Canadian as the choice because you can't do both. If you do this, it's like doubling your risk exposure when you're going against the US dollar. So you shouldn't do that. So there was only one trade to take. You had to pick which one you want. They both didn't work. And, that's not an unusual occurrence because you're only going to be right about, 6 times out of 10. You're going to have a couple losses and a few break-evens. And that's what the trading, with pattern recognition swing trading is what we're really looking at here. So let's remind ourselves of that, and that'll give us a little bit better view of what we're looking at. Okay, now we've got another trade coming up here soon. I don't think it's ready yet. And that is something that's been very, very good to us this year, and that is the wheat market. First of all, we've got here these. I'm going to have to get rid of these because we're not looking at May wheat because it's off the board. Christmas wheat is off the board. So what we're going to do now is come right here and move this over, and we're going to go to December of this year right here. So all we're going to do now, it's going to take a minute to populate this for 1 second, and then we'll be ready. Hold on 1 second, and we should be lucky. There we go. And refresh everything. And I think we're going to be all right. Maybe not. Now, well, I'm going to have to go to do it with March wheat, folks. So I'll do the December for us later, but get it March wheat up, and we'll just do it with that. This is going to be the March because we're getting ready for another buying opportunity in the wheat here. This is the hourly chart on the wheat. We're coming down nicely. You can see here yesterday, just absolute beautiful 382 right off the high. Just bada bing, bada boom, goes a penny above it and immediately drops 20 cents. Now, I didn't do that, folks, because, we were short. Well, doesn't make any difference. We were short bonds, short stocks. They were all working good. Short gold, that was working good. Missed the crude oil because I wasn't paying attention to it today. But that's the kind you're going to miss. But that's going to be a good one. The reason why we want to look at this is we're going to go to the 4 hour now. But we want to see this ABCD forming. Okay, so there's the 4 hour, and there's our ABCD forming right here. Get this out of the way. So there's your 382. There's your ABC. Oh, this is really nice. Oh, my goodness. Shut the front door and raise the rent. I should hold this one for Christmas purposes. It's almost Christmas. What the heck? Here we have a really nice ABCD pattern right there. There's AB, and there equals CD right there. 526, 7 cents lower. And what do we have here? Pay attention, Johnny. You got it, buddy. Put that little ABCD placard out there and see what it comes up with. There's your ABCD leg right here. And that tells us that we are knocking on heaven's door right now. So the $64 question is today the day? Because it's very, very close. It's made this ABCD right here, the big one, okay? It hasn't made the little one. So the only thing you can do is move this over a little bit. You can see there's your old lows, what it's going to be shooting for. Okay, so my assumption is, and I'm assuming, what you assume means ASSUME, and there's where we're only 7 cents away from a new low. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt here and bring in the expansion numbers off of this to tell me where the stops would most probably be and where I would like to be a buyer. And here it is, folks, 11 cents lower right as we knock on the door here. Let's just draw it in here so you can see it run right away. There's your 1.618. That number comes in at deuce and a quarter, folks. 522. You want to buy it let's buy it at 524. We're going to buy March wheat at 524. This is bread and cookies, folks. People are not going to stop eating that stuff. I can raise my hand. You look at me and say, well, you haven't missed many meals. Well, that's the reason. Anyway, there's what we're going to look at. Let's draw this in so you can see everybody can be 524. And we're going to put a stop in at 508. So we are going to risk 16 cents to be a farmer in wheat. And I like that trade. I might be wrong, but Like I say, I'm often wrong, but never in doubt. So let's watch that one very, very closely. Now, I've already talked to you about the meal. There's another one that's coming up here. This one's going to be after the first of the year because there's a strong seasonality. This is bean oil. Let's get the daily up on bean oil, and I believe we're still looking at the January into this. And sure enough, there's January bean oil looks like it's making new lows on the year, or very, very close, as we've still got a little bit more to go. Now, this goes back a long time, but there's the last support was right there. Now, it's still holding. You see, it's up on the day right now. But I really think that let's get this out of the way here. I really think there's your ABCD to the upside. Why would we not want to wait for the AB equals CD to the downside? And where does that come in here? Making new lows on the day. I would think people would like to know that. This would be the time to be buying it, I would think. And if we look at one other thing, I'm just going to move this over just a little bit so we can see, because we have another ABCD pattern right here, right behind it, because there's the 382 off of that high right there. So that's a swing. That's AB equals CD. And where does it take you down to? And there's where the lady gets into the opera and lets her lungs blow up and sing to the world, right here. The underweight opera singer. Got to be careful with this woke stuff that's out there, especially me being look like a rotund Santa Claus. Okay, let's get that out of the way. We've covered the bean oil, we've covered the wheat, we've covered the meal, and we've covered the what is left, but nothing else but corn. Let's get old corn on the line here. And here's where we are with corn. Oh, I've got to cover coffee for somebody today, too. Okay, here's where we are with corn. We bought that back here, on a day trading thing. We got one coming up a week from this Friday. We tried selling it there. We missed it. And now the corn is looking pretty good, folks. In fact, this is a buy signal right here in corn right now. If you take the last major low, this is a minor. Well, they're very similar. But let's see what both of those are. We just made a nice low in corn today. There's your ABCD pattern right here. Comes in right at 618. And if you measure it from the last low right back in here, you can see almost right at the 382. And it's already up 5 cents from that level. So that's going to be interesting. But I think corn is turning, folks. I mean, just to show you how how cheap corn is being, let me just get the weekly up here. Hello, operator. Look where we've been here. This is where we usually get corn, is back in here. Here's where we are now. Ooh, nice head and shoulders. We can get that working. Let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, we're going to little ABCD action, and then what we're going to do is change. I've got to do some historical stuff. There's your ABCD to the downside right there. Okay, now what we have here is we have ABCD to the upside. This is a weekly, so we should be looking for corn to get up there a little bit higher. There's your ABCD, back testing it where it was last May. That's at 65. That's up another 25 cents. Now we're in the Christmas spirit, so let's go back about, oh my goodness, 48 years ago. In 1976, I was working for Drexel Burnham Lambert on the corner of Wilshire Boulevard and Rodeo Drive. That building was a 4-story building. The downstairs was the commodity department and stocks. There were 29 brokers there. When I got there, I was the only commodity broker because I started the commodity department there. And upstairs, second, third, and fourth was Mike Milken and the Milken high yield bond department. And by 1978, Milken was making more than McDonald's personally, just on the commissions and stuff that he had made. If you want to know how that worked, get a book by James Stewart called The Den of Thieves. And it's an interesting, I've talked about it before, but this is Christmas time. But the Christmas time at Drexel, which was 90% Jewish, was absolutely unbelievable. They would have every day, there would be a giant sculpture with shrimp and lobster and all kinds of exotic candies and stuff. And people, strangers, would just come in and just help themselves. And that's what Drexel wanted them to do. We at Drexel, back when I was one of the girl group, was we were required, not asked, we were required to give 10% of our money to the well, they were still homeless there, but to the poor and to the disadvantaged during the Christmas holidays. That was not an option. They told you that when you came to work, and which was fine. And believe it or not, 2 of the brokers in that office, there were 25 stockbrokers, and myself, and then 2 other guys. Twentyman, of course, which was my partner, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I'll think of it in just a minute. Oh, shut the front door. Oh, it'll come to me. Anyway, we would go around and, we had to go to the prisons and to the jails and to the orphanages and actually spend time giving away gifts and stuff that the company had put together for us. And we all paid for it at 10% out of our money. But every day, from the 15th of December, which was about the start of Hanukkah usually, which being Jewish, almost all of it was Hanukkah, but a giant Christmas tree and all the Christmas trimmings and everything were there. It was just really great. We gave a lot of stuff away, and it was a lot of fun. And when that, every year at that time, Twentyman and I still talk about how much fun it was during that time. It was just really great. Now, one other thing that people have asked me about are the mentors that I've had through the years. When I was 19 years old, I was a sophomore in college. Yeah, and I met a gentleman, a statistician from Yale, Jim Noblet, PhD, and he told me about silver, that silver was undervalued, that it was going to be, be worth a lot of money someday, and all you had to do was save silver certificates. That's what got me started. But his statistics class everything was based about probabilities and stock markets, and also horse racing and stuff like that. He took all the statistics, the stuff that you really need to know, standard deviations, deviation from the mean, all that stuff, and he showed how numbers related to all these things, and it stuck with me, through all those years. 1970, when I really got into this, I met John Hill in San Francisco at the Hearst Profit Magic of Stock Transaction. I'd already met Peter Eliades 5 years earlier. Peter was there. Larry Williams was there. Twentyman was there. Eddie Horowitz was there. Just so many of them, and they're all gone now, with the exception of Larry Williams. Anyway, that's got me started, and then I got into soybeans in '72 during the Russian grain robbery, and Oscar McClure and John Hurd, who were experienced soybean traders, came into the office every day dressed up with their suits and ties and vests, and they took it as a professional business, and they took me under their wing, and they showed me, what to look for in anchovies and all that stuff, and then I ran it up to a lot of money, and then I really started to learn on my birthday in '74. I was doing pretty good, but by the time Halloween came, I owed him a lot of money. Well, I owed him $2,800, but I lost a bunch of money. The best trade I ever did was losing all that money, because it forced me to look at myself, for one thing, on the psychology of why I was, so not being careful with money and stops. I just kept buying and thinking the market was going to rally, and it didn't. So I kept buying and buying, and it kept going lower and lower. It's like goodbye house, goodbye car, goodbye wife. That didn't happen for another 20 years. Anyway, I got the book, the Gartley book. That was my real breakthrough. I studied it for a year and a half before I never did another major trade, and then I started soybean oil, and that went up. And then through those years, I've had some, really great mentors that have been with me. Dr. Ruth Miller was one. I mean, Alfie Lavoie was another one. Bill Meridian was another one. Just some, especially Bryce Gilmore. That was a revelation working with that guy. And he would come to the trading house in Pismo Beach and stay with us 3 months a year for 5 years running. He's in very, very poor health right now, but he was another really big one. I'm sure I'm missing some. On a psychological part, Brian Tucker, who is my best friend, helped me along because he happens to be a Buddhist, on the things to work with that you want to be able to help other people at all times and that kind of stuff. So those are the main ones that I know I'm forgetting some. Eddie Horowitz, how could I forget him? And Peter Eliades, I mean, those guys were, psychology and cycle guys, and always a lot of fun. But I've been blessed through all this stuff. That's pretty much it. Anyway, that's what we're paying attention to here today. We got 2 minutes to go, and someone's asked for another chart. Let's get it up here. And we're looking at Caterpillar because the old cat is under the weather right now. I heard it beep earlier this morning, and it is still beeping. This is the Caterpillar for the day. You can see here, it went way through the target. See, there was your ABCD pattern, and that tells you that. And now everybody that's bought this since the election is now underwater. It looked pretty good right here, but now, not so much. I don't know, but that's what we're watching here today. Now, tomorrow is Friday, and I believe this will be the 20th. So next Friday, we'll be doing the live trading thing, and we'll see how this works out. And I have a very important thing to tell you on Friday, folks, because if the stock market, I don't know where it is right now, I haven't looked, but if the stock market, the Dow Jones, any of these close on their lows for the week on Friday, for heaven's sakes, don't be long on Friday if it does that. They got to close on their lows. They're up above the lows, that's okay. But if they close right on their lows, that's not really going to be very good. Because what happens usually on that Monday doesn't happen very often. But we've already got some warnings. Remember, we were looking at the Dow Jones the other day, it was down 10 days in a row, or 9 days. It didn't make it because the 10th day it was down, but we're only at 10. See, it tied. 11s are up in here. That was back. There's my birthday right there, back in 1941. It was down 12 days in a row. So that's what we're watching. So let's take a look here at the timer on the wall. Let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, someone's asked me my most memorable moment there at Drexel. But there were a lot of them. But we were on the ground floor, and there were, a whole bunch of people, 30 plus the secretaries. And every once in a while, it would be almost emptied. Everybody would go out to the lobby because somebody really famous came in. And Twentyman and I are sitting there. It's early in the morning. And Jimmy looks at me. He says, and I wasn't even paying attention. He said, looks like Reagan might be in it because he was running for governor at that time. In comes this cowboy with a baseball cap on and a T-shirt and Levi's. And he comes in and to my office and he says, you got the price of silver? And I said, yeah. And I said, you know? He said, well, I see the silver chart up there. I said, okay. He says, well, what do you need to know? I showed him silver. And our secretary, Connie, came running down the hall. She had one speed, super slow. And she comes in and she says, do not pay attention to these two guys. They're really nerds. And Twentyman and I didn't know who it was. It was Bruce Springsteen, and he was performing at the Hollywood Bowl, the Greek Theater, and we laughed and said hello to him, and I said, I know. I said, I know who you are. I said, you used a lot of Buddy Holly music, and he laughed and he said, yeah. And he said, look, I said, take care of her. She's our right-hand girl. He invited her to go to be part of the private party for the show, and they went out and partied afterwards and gave her a leather jacket and all kinds of stuff, and she was really happy about that. It had to be one of them. There was a bunch of others, but it was really a lot of different. Most of those guys were really nice. There were a few movie stars that were way up in the air and stuff, but we didn't pay too much attention to that. Didn't really mean we were trying to make money. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but that was the only time I got to meet the boss. I only know the one song that he did, Born in the USA, and now that we have different political beliefs, I haven't bought any of his records. I still owe all of Michael Jackson's records, and that's the way it goes. Anyway, be nice to your neighbors, folks. Christmas time, believe it or not, folks, you're not going to believe it. It's 6 days from today. See you on the flip side tomorrow. Bye-bye.